pass this paper, you might as well forget about prelims. Yes, you might as well consider your prelims as a fail already. Find out why in today's episode of PPR. Welcome back to another video. This is Yaula from Vantage Tutor, a class above the rest. And for today's prelim paper review, it's going to be like lunch for a lot of the students out there. And this paper is from 2023, Broadrick Secondary School, Pure Chemistry Paper 1 and Paper 2. Now before I go into the details, these are the questions that I feel are insightful and probably worth your time to try. And if you would like to download this paper, you are invited to join my Telegram channel where I've attached a short summary along with a download link on my blog. Have a go at it, let me know how you did. When it comes down to your revision for your O-levels or your prelims, it's not about finding the most insightful papers to try all the time. Sometimes you should just look for a paper that is going to appear rather routine for you, and this paper is going to fulfill that. Why? Let's find out via my 3 matrices. Number 1, relevance. Number 2, insightfulness. Number 3, difficulty. Before I give an overall score, I recommend to you the type of students who should try this paper. And of course, if I had a student who had to sit for this paper under exam condition, what would be a fair expectation of him from me in order for him to score an A in his actual O-levels? Firstly, relevance. Upon first impression, from a bird's eye view, it really is not too different from what you would expect. In fact, some students may find this paper a bit too boring, a bit too flat, unlike what you see in the past few years of your O-levels. But if you look closely at the topics being tested, the sequencing, how they phrase the question is more or less kind of what you expect. Just lacking that bit of spice in them, just lacking that bit of creativity in them. There are application questions in parts of the paper, but it's not too many, and I feel what's significantly missing in this paper is obviously the contextual or an anchor question. And there is one being found in your section B, but I just feel it pales in comparison compared to what you see in other prelim papers or even your past O-level papers. So all in all, this paper is relevant but lacking that bit of creativity that you see in your O-level papers or other prelim papers. And if I put everything together, the relevance of this paper is going to rank rather average. A simple 5.5 out of 10. Next, insightfulness. There are some application questions, there are data analysis questions required of you in this paper, but there is not too many of them, or rather the skills required of you is not as extensive compared to what is required of you in your O-level paper, compared to what is required of you in other prelim papers. It just seems to lack that bit of spice, it just seems to hit the bare minimum of having that anchor question, that creative question. And there are small parts of this paper that has a potential trap in them, but I feel a lot of students who have seen this before if you have done your revision. Nothing in this paper is going to appear incredibly new to you, but there are small parts of it that will introduce new information and give you a bit of small insight here and there. You will learn from doing this paper, just not as extensive as other papers that I would be recommending to you in the next couple of weeks. In fact, as much as I hate to say it, this paper would be a lot more insightful if you were to have taken this at the end of your Sec 3. And hence the insightfulness of this paper will be given a rather average 6 out of 10. Next, difficulty. This paper, not difficult at all. I think a lot of you will find it rather routine with a small bit of spice in there. It's not going to leave an incredible impression on you because of the difficulty. As I've said, there are small insights to begin from doing this paper, but it's nothing spectacular. There are small challenges down there, but it wouldn't take you more than a minute to figure out. Information presented to you is not too extensive. Data presented to you is not overwhelming. You can take them apart, and for students who have done a lot of revision, this paper would just feel like a simple dessert for you. But for students who are still in the middle of doing your revision, this paper will feel a bit heavier for you and maybe a bit difficult to digest. But you still find it manageable and go through with the practice. And hence the difficulty of this paper is more than fair. It will be given a score of 4.5 out of 10. Overall, this paper is decent. And why would I be reviewing only a decent paper is because you're not looking to do the most relevant papers all the time, you're not looking to do the most insightful papers all the time, you're not looking to do the most difficult paper all the time. There are days where you spend more time towards your other subjects, and then when you still want to revise your chemistry, you go back to something that is a bit more manageable, a bit more palatable, that's going to feel like routine, simply to remind you of the small skills and concepts required of you in your O-level chemistry syllabus. This paper is not going to leave an impression on you, but it's going to help you master and refine your skills towards your O-levels without causing you too much trouble, taking up too much of your time, such that you neglect other subjects. And sometimes you look at other prelim papers, every one of them is too difficult, every one of them is too insightful, every one of them requires too much effort from you, and sometimes you just want to go through an ordinary paper just to do a simple revision, at least for now. And hence, the overall score of this paper may shock some of you, but I do appreciate this paper. It will be given a score of 6.5 out of 10. And if I had a student who had to sit for this paper under exam conditions, a fair expectation of him from me would be 85% in order for him to score an A in his actual O-levels. Finally, who would I recommend this paper to? I recommend this paper to every student to keep aside for days where you're really tired but you still have to revise for your chemistry. This paper is rather ordinary with a bit of spice. It fulfills slightly above the bare minimum of what I look for in every prelim paper. It's going to help you refine and push you towards mastery of the usual skills that is required of you in your O-level pure chemistry syllabus. It's not going to take up too much of your time, it's just going to be rather routine, and sometimes routine is what you need. And hence, if you are a student who is worn out by other chemistry prelim papers that are too hard, too difficult, or you're just simply worn out after a long day of revising other subjects, but part of your timetable still requires you to revise chemistry, this paper will be perfect for you. Alright, so we have come to the end of this prelim paper review of 2023 Broadrick Secondary School Pure Chemistry Paper 1 and Paper 2. Now if you like what I'm doing, follow me on TikTok, like my video, comment and share it with your friends. I'm sure this will help them because ultimately I'm on my way to 10,000 followers. And if you are a student who is looking to try this paper, you're invited to join my Telegram channel where I have attached a short summary together with a download link on my blog. Have a go at it, let me know how you did. Nothing else. This is your love from Vantage Tutor, a class above the rest. Take care.